Alright, week 3 analysis for UJ and all the other pairs from last week. UJ pushed up to our previous support, not resistance. It's holding the descending trend line, barely though. It actually broke. But then if you zoom in closely on the daily, we have a bearish engulfing candle followed by another bearish engulfing candles. So 2 days worth of bearish engulfing candles off of resistance. So on a lower time frame, on the H4, I want to see what happens when prices come into my yellow zone. Now this yellow zone is on a daily. This yellow zone was previous support, breaks, retests, and you zoom in a little bit closely, it came down 2 times. So on H4, I'm looking for if price does happen to start creeping into my yellow zone, I want to see what happens if it goes up, if it bounces off the yellow zone, or it could actually break. Now at that break, you guys know it, we can go in for the retest into the previous support, which is down here at the 105.5. So we gotta see what happens for UJ when it approaches this yellow zone. If it doesn't, now let me just clear up this chart. If it doesn't, actually I'm not gonna spend time clearing it. If it doesn't come into this chart, come into my yellow zone, I'm not really looking for anything in particular, because it is probably not looking for buys in particular because it is in a downtrend. So I want to see, for buys though, I'd want to see like a break of this previous high, consolidates, and enter in a consolidation for the next leg. And let me mark that as green. So that is a scenario. So 2 scenarios here. One scenario, actually 3 scenarios for UJ, but the most possible one is this one in here in purple, that one. So prices come down into our 1.7 zone, breaks it, clean break, retest, heads over to our 105.5 zone. That is the most likely scenario for UJ for me, but I'll update you guys. Next one, I'm gonna start doing the mains first, the major pairs, and then head over to my crosses. So USDCHF. USDCHF analysis from last week still stands. We're still in consolidation. This right here was a bearish move. We're in consolidation phase, and I'm looking for this level to hold. This still the same as last week, the 1.00 level to hold. So if it's able to make another run for either the 0.995 area and then falls, that would be a good scenario for me. That's all I see for USDCHF. I don't like this pair. Yeah, just don't like this pair. Would like the channel to actually be broken before anything. So on a lower time frame, the H1, we have a leg, a bearish leg, consolidation. So your little bearish leg, your consolidation, and this play that we just made off of 4 hour on a 1 hour would want something like maybe like a retest of this 99 again. So H4 and H1 analysis pretty much is the same before we go in for sells to the downside. So in this case, sells to the downside from 9.993, 9.995 area with a stop loss. I guess like since USDCHF is a slow pair, stop loss wouldn't be that big. So if you put it like above recent high, that would be like 40-50 pips. And then it targets last target would be the next yellow zone, giving you a 4-to-1 reward risk. So that's USDCHF. Still don't like that pair, so AU, I'm gonna erase this, but this thing still stands. AU, we called the analysis called for a break of this support, a retest of the support, and entering on a sell, and that's what the market gave us. So let's erase this for now. So that was the break and retest, and I'm still seeing a continuation. This right here, we're still in consolidation. This was the leg. Now consolidating. Maybe I would like to see a small little push up before the next move down into our 0.67 support, which is down here. So that's AU. This retracement though is quite small. It's around 20 pip retracement, so we might actually go for a deeper retracement on AU. So if we pull my fib for a deeper retracement, let's pull it from here. That's here. So that is, so it may actually go to the 38.2 before it falls. So in this case, another scenario before it falls. Now the support is around our extension levels. So that's AU. So we're bearish on this pair for now. So this analysis, basing off of this analysis, we're bearish. Until market opens, the analysis stays the same. EU. Let's see what's good for EU. This little yellow zone is holding right over here. You can see like there, which is pretty much the same thing as a yellow zone, but we make the yellow zone wide enough. It's too wide for this pair because this pair is relatively slow. Okay, down. So I'm gonna keep this here. Actually, I'm not gonna. So we're trading EU. We're on support, on a 1 hour support. So if you're shorting EU, in this case, I'm going for a short. I'd want to retest this market structure that was broken. So in this case, when you pull your fib out, that's around a perfect 62. That was not planned. Perfect 62 because it's market structure first, then your fibs. And then we can, if this structure is consistent and the views sentiment is still consistent, we're taking a short. I'll take a possible short from here. Stop loss would be above the recent high, which is around 40 pips. 30 to, let's say 30 to 40 pips. Your last target would be down here at the top of the support zone. Now looking at it from the 4 hour point of view, it looks good if this yellow zone holds. And we see rejection. So we have your 1 rejection candle, 2, 3, and starts falling. So would like a retracement for a lower risk entry, so you're not risking as much on your stop loss. Your final TP would be down here. So that would be like your final TP. Down here, somewhere around here, 1.093 area. The next zone. Okay, so that's a EU trade outlook. AU, okay, we just did AU. So yeah, AU consolidates before it goes down. So that's consistent with like what we have here. UCAD. Now this is a pair that I don't trade. So UCAD daily on a UCAD. Let's see. UCAD on a daily, we have, let's go on a weekly actually. So weekly, I'm not sure if I did this pair last week, but we're looking for another swipe. So first swipe, that was your first swipe. Second swipe, I'm pretty sure a lot of you are familiar with this weekly chart for UCAD, but we're looking for like a third swipe, and it's not probably going to happen for anytime soon. So in this case, with that in mind, let's go on a daily and see for any short possibilities, because we are in a downtrend market, or I guess you could say consolidating, but overall, really see how it depends on it, but it could be, you can say it's consolidating. But on with the analysis. So analysis, I pull my fib from here to here, and price is rejecting off my entry levels. However, this is the 1, 2, 3, 4, fourth rejection, or fourth touch. So we may actually see, and this support right here is holding. So this support is holding. So we actually see the support holding for maybe a little upside move before we can go in for shorts. Because if you're going in for a short right over here, let's go on a 1 hour time frame. If you're going in for a short at the break of the support on a 1 hour, and let's make this red. You're entering here. Your drawdown, where is your stop loss going to be? Your drawdown is around 60, 70 pips. Versus if you just waited for a better opportunity to enter. Hold on, let me adjust this. And then take profits would be more realistic. Your take profit would be at the 1.316 area. That's not going to make for a good risk to reward. So you want to wait for a better entry or a better setup. Wait for it to come to you. So this thing level holds. We might see somewhat of an upside move before we can enter short. So something around here. So the price is able to retrace and retest this level, this little zone we have, that would be good. That would be a optimal entry. But then again, just because the price comes up to this area doesn't necessarily mean it's a sell. So watch out for that pair, see what it does. It's in the middle of nowhere right now, so I can't really do anything or say or call anything. Moving on. Spending too much time on a pair I don't even look at. GU. Very interesting pair. Okay, so GU on a weekly. Last week's thing still stands. So on a weekly, we're on downtrend. Looking at the candles, big green candles. So you want to be careful on your shorts. Just because the price is very high doesn't mean it's a nice opportunity to short. So on a daily, we have the price is approaching 1.26, and it's rejected off the 1.26 area. Now price, this trend line is kind of steep, so I'm just going to erase that. I'm not sure why I put it there. So we have something like that, right over there. Two areas. So I'm looking for either, this is based off of 1 hour, prices come down to retest the 1.24 area and making the next move up to the 1.26. That's a retest the 1.26. Around retest. It was rejected off around the around 20 pips away. Something like that. Or that's one scenario. Or this thing comes down, consolidates, and breaks. Now on the break, you can't really say it's a short yet because this support still hasn't been broken. So however, on a retest, you can still enter could still enter on a short on a retest. However, shorts on a retest, you're not exactly sure where you should put your stop loss because you're shorting around the 1.24 area and you're putting your stop loss, if you're putting it above the recent high, that is around 180 pips, and that is not good. So you want to see what happens at the break of this support or at this previous resistance, now support. It's a minor area. Price back in July it tested this area. So it's actually okay, so it's not a minor area, it's a major area. So you want to see what happens if price is able to break this, and you want to see what happens at the retest in order to for confirmation of shorts. So that's GU, and then your TP, your last TP, your final TP will be down here at the 1.19 area. It's a little bit of a reach, so that's going to give you like a 3.8 risk to reward. Really depends on how it moves. So that's one scenario. So that's two scenarios right there. So you have a retest of support and it goes up, or retest of support, consolidates, breaks, and you go in on the retest. So that's GU. Right. GCAD. So second week analysis, we did a analysis where this was a flag and this was a breakout, and we said it would come back for a retest before it goes for the next level, and that's exactly what happened. And then I called out something about price would be starting to pull back because this right here is a major, like a crazy level of previous support. It's crazy. So on the daily, we're showing some signs of pullback. However, there's no direction of a trend shift yet, so you can't really say it's a sell. It's only pulling back. So this is the second rejection off of the major weekly zone. So in this case, let me erase this as well, and erase this. New outlook. So we made that. Hold on. So in this case, if we're doing a trend continuation trade, I would want to see price to come back for a second retest before going for a trend continuation. Now, second retest would be around your 62 entry. Erase the fibs. Now that's one scenario if you're going for trend continuation. Next scenario would be this comes back down, consolidates around this area, breaks, clean break. So this whole thing, let me just do that in red because that's a second scenario. And then you have your retest, and it'll be down here. Something like that. You want to see what happens at the retest. Just because it's retesting, just because it broke and retested, it doesn't necessarily mean it's okay, going short now. So you want to see what happens. You want to see how the candles are looking like. So it's somewhat like that. It really depends on market structure. So the stop loss is subject to change. And then your TP would be at the next support, which is down here at the 1.604, 1.605. That's going to give you like 200 pips in profit, I'm guessing. So 300, 400 pips in profit. And you're risking around 120 pips on this trade for now. Really depends on the market structure here. That's going to give you like a 1 to 3 risk to reward. Two scenarios for GCAD. Next one, GJ. Same scenario holds. I'm bearish on GJ actually, even though the candles look very bullish. It's because we are entering a market structure, which is previous support. So I'm going to see what happens this week around this area. So maybe we can see like a price retracing a little bit. And at this retrace, I want to see the candles. Are the candles rejecting this zone? If it is, I might start entering sells. So let's say we place a sell there. stop loss, of course, would be giving it like a 20 pip stop loss above this high. And then you can see profit targets. My final TP would be down here. That is a break and retest, so it'll be down here. Can also, and partials can be taken also on market structure, but that's one scenario. So that's one scenario. Let's draw the next scenario. Next scenario is this support holding, but probably not. But we'll see. So this right here is a support. Minor little support. Price didn't really have a deep retracement, so we're expecting a deep retracement if we're going with a trend. So in this case, so one push, two push. This is a third push. One consolidates. Okay, so we have a this support holding. So if this support holds, and you're going for trend continuation, I'll look for something like that. Still a little bit iffy because of this area and because US 30 did a slight pullback on Friday, so that's giving me like making me iffy on GJ. Just can't really call anything right now. The thing is, the candles right here look very bearish, so you know, that's that. And also, this thing breaks, this support right here breaks, retest of this level, and we head down. So that's like what, 3 scenarios? No, 1, 2, 3, around 2 or 3 scenarios for GJ. I'll update you guys on that if I have the chance, but I won't be keeping my eyes on like 15 pairs, so you guys need to pick what you want to trade and do that. Let's move on to Euro Jappy. Still downtrend. This descending trend line is holding. First retest of this descending trend line in like 2 or 3 months. So that's, and it also aligns with your little zone here or level, and it is also a fib level. So what are we looking for? Could look for shorts, could look for longs, but personally I'm more bearish on this pair. So you mark up your chart a little bit more, Yang Zhang. And you're entering, and if I'm entering short opportunities, I would want a little retest of this area on the H4, that area. Wow, make this a little bit better. So retest a little this area before it continues falling. Now I'm doing something like that and put my stop loss right over there above this high. And that's already a generous stop loss, 50, 60 pips. If you want to give it a little bit more generous stop loss, that's right, 50. And then your TP would be down here. Final TP, you'll be taking partials at like different levels of market structure, which is like down here, here, final TP with here. At that point, you're risk free. So that's Euro Jappy. Now, long scenario for Euro Jappy. Long scenario for Euro Jappy. Retracement. So right now it's pulling back. So we want to see a pullback. if it's like a deeper pullback, I'm not sure if it would actually go up, but we'll see. Maybe it looks like a little head and shoulders, but I'm not really into that anymore. I'm not sure if I can see an actual buy scenario. Maybe like a retrace into this zone before it start creeping back up into our descending trend line. Rejection off the descending trend line, or like pullback before making another high. So that's like a scenario maybe we can see. I don't know. That's a possible scenario. But in this case, I'm more bearish this pair. So this pair, bearish, and then something like that. So make it blue. So there's two scenarios, a buy scenario and a sell scenario. So sell scenario, you pull your fib, something like that. If it starts retracing here, it's the only reason why I'm pulling it from there. If it starts retracing from there, we'll put the fib there. If it doesn't, we will adjust the fib and then go from there. So it's always adjusting. CHF, the pound Swiss. Pound Swiss. Last week we said, I'm not sure, I don't actually remember what I said last week, so we'll just do it this week. We have a little double top going on, some little rejection candles, some wicks off of our zone or level over here. This is major structure, a major support zone. Could see a slight pullback. Looking at the candles here, we have push, consolidation, another push, small little consolidation, push, and we're seeing a little double top. However, the trend's not broken yet. So just because you see a double top doesn't mean the trend's broken. Could just mean a little pullback. Fucking tired. So what were we talking about? Double top. So if you're going for a trend continuation trade on pound Swiss, want a retest of this, because price actually broke out but never did like a full on like retest on a 4 hour. It just wicked off. So I want to see like a little retest of this level, at least this level, before I go before we can go long. That's one scenario. It's a buy scenario if we're going for a trend continuation. The daily candle, that right there is very worrisome, but candles are a little bit deceiving. You gotta see like candles coupled with like the whole structure. If you guys know what I mean. Not sure, my English is starting to fail. That's one scenario. Another scenario, we come down, clean break again. However, at this clean break, the structure is not broken. You would need like a clean break. Hold on. You would need like a clean break breaking this low. Now that's a little miniature low, but like a clean break over here. Retest, like a deep retest. So at this retest, we're not retesting at this level because it's a small little minor level. We want like a retest of this little zone, because this zone is pretty wide. It's around 100 pips, so it's not going to retest like the bottom of the zone. Would want like a retest of like the range, whatever's inside here. Now that could be like a little 62 entry, and then you can just go for shorts for there. That's a short scenario. Boop. Now where your TP would be final TP would actually be down here. So that's two scenarios off of pound Swiss. Oh shoot. Either going trend continuation or we're going a short on pound Swiss. Never know. Actually, never know until the market opens and gives you more structure. GA. So GA we're not really seeing like a deep pullback, so we were expecting a deep pullback this week. So last week it made a run for the 1.85, and this is our first rejection off the 1.85. So let's erase this. So we called this a little trade, but let's erase that. That's last week. So I'm seeing a major, like a pullback, deep pullback, because price one deep pullback. So that's our next leg. So I'm looking for a pullback into the 1 point. It's a little reach. Sort of here. So either the 1.835 or the 1.25. This pair is pretty volatile, so it's doable. So just give it like some time, which is also the previous resistance. So if that holds, I'm going long. Boop. At least to like the 1.85 for it. Again, two scenarios. I'm not gonna be counter trading here. We're not shorting here because the overall move is bullish, or sentiment is bullish. That's one scenario. That right here is one scenario. Another scenario that I probably don't really see happening is it breaking at the retest. So it comes down and it breaks and it's come back up and it starts breaking down. Don't really see that happening, but who knows? That's two scenarios. They may color code it, something like that, right there. Well, let's go on a 1 hour. 1 hour. This thing picked off a support level, which is found from back here, a resistance. So it broke out of resistance, this line. It's coming back down to retest. Now it just wicked off that retest. But price wasn't able to break off this zone, break out of this zone. So now we're coming back down. So coming back down, might do like another push up. Probably just a consolidation, Sunday and Monday. I'll see. But right here is a more realistic scenario, and it aligns with my trading plan. So right here we have a break of this this whole period of consolidation. So a retest of the resistance consolidation. Moving on. Euro AUD. Euro AUD. On the daily, we are approaching the neckline, the support that it broke, which is also a little level back here as well. Actually a major level. Sorry, not here. No energy left. Pull my little fib, going from top to bottom. My neckline aligns with the levels, the 62 to 79 levels. So just keep that in mind. Price did 2 rejections off. So 1 hour, we have 2 rejections. But because there's a rejection doesn't mean there is reversal. So push, pull back, consolidation / push. Next leg, consolidation. So if we're going long, here's our long opportunity. Long opportunities is a pullback into the support, which is also, like I said just earlier, a previous level of market structure. So doing that, and then buys from this consolidation, from the support of this consolidation back into our neckline right over here. And if it breaks our neckline, we can enter on the retest for the highs again. So that is trend continuation trade. Even though it's in a downtrend right now, it seems like the tides are changing. Okay, now we're going short. I'm not sure why we would go short, but if we were going short, or if the market gives us like a different scenario or market structure in this case. So if this zone holds, which again is this major structure. So if that holds, we're looking for a sell opportunity, I guess from the top, but we can't really say that right now because it's still in a little uptrend structure. So we want this support to break. And if you guys don't know yet, the pattern right here is we're waiting for levels to break and then retrace and enter on a retest. If it doesn't retrace and retest, we're not going in. So another scenario, let's make this blue. Boom, 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 consolidates, strong close, and at the strong close, we're waiting for a lower time frame retest, and TP would be for if you're looking at the candlestick formations, and it confirms or it gives you high confluence of a short. There you go. Your final TP would be at the trend line, which is drawn on a daily. So this daily trend line, you're shorting to the daily trend line because that daily trend line is a dynamic support. So that's two scenarios for EA. I'll definitely be trading EA this week. So gold, with the pullback of US 30, gold is most likely headed up. So in this case, we are still in the bigger picture is an uptrend. Let me draw it for you guys. Let's start the consolidation period, the leg consolidation, the next leg, the consolidation, and that is a weak push because this right here is weekly, major weekly neckline, previous support, now it's resistance, so it's going to have a hard time breaking. But last week we ended bullish candles, so this week we might look for a long trade on gold. Okay, so long trade on gold. Gold is holding this trend line and also a small little channel, but still an uptrend regardless. So we have a little wicks, but it's closing above the wicks. So I would want to see a small little retest of this level that just broke. So this was support, resistance, consolidation, resistance. So we want on a lower time frame, we want to see a retest. Let me just draw this better on the lower time frame. Retest. Jeez. And then we can look for longs there. That's a long scenario. Boop. Stop loss below this low. It's going to give us like a 60 pip stop loss, I believe. 80 pip stop loss. Oops. That's big. So you don't want to over leverage on this trade. First TP, second TP. And then at the second TP, you're pretty much risk free. So that's a long scenario. On a short scenario, so let me just draw that out for you guys on the long scenario. So long scenario, we're waiting for the retest, and that is the final TP. I'm not saying in one candle it's gonna go straight up. Let's see. So next scenario, short scenario. Short scenario is this zone holding, which is the 1520 zone. It is holding in a short scenario. We let me just erase this long scenario. So that's a long scenario. Short scenarios, the price would come up, make a rejection off of like a wick rejection, 2 wick rejections already, with wick rejection, or like a bearish engulfing, something like that, and that's a short scenario off of the gold. So that's 2 scenarios off gold. I'll be keeping an eye on gold. US 30, we have prices, we're almost at all-time highs, and it's retracing. So on the daily, we broke out of this little consolidation, and it never really retested because it just kept going without like a significant pullback. So maybe we're headed down to 26,400 area. So in this case, on the daily, we retest this area, and at this area, looking at you gotta see where the sentiment shifts. If sentiment shifts for longs back up to our all-time high areas, the resistance right over here. So that's one scenario. Another scenario is 1 hour time frame. Let's go to 1 hour time frame. Right there, and we also have a little support. The wicks, I'm just going to count for the wicks. So we have another scenario, because we're waiting for price to, we're anticipating a price to retest this resistance off of consolidation. We may want to short into that consolidation. So we're looking for shorts. We want to see shorting in this range. So a retest of this range if we're going for shorts into our 26400 area. So that's one scenario, 2 scenarios. But however, if we're looking for trend continuation and prices doesn't come down to the 26400 area, so let's erase everything, pull my fib out, and let's say it actually comes down to this little minor support. So we wait for some confirmation to go long, back up to all-time highs. That is a 3rd scenario. Jeez, oh my god, I'm so tired. I think that's it for tonight. I'm so tired. Yep. Now that thing, if this actually starts breaking down right now, let me give you the scenario for the breakdown. Break it down for me. I don't think anyone like watches it too far, so like don't really need to cut this out. Just not gonna do that again. This, I'm guessing, or I'm expecting like a bounce, at least a bounce off of this area, weak bounce before it breaks and it heads into the 25,300 area. So I'm not actually drawing like random bounces. I'm actually drawing, this right here is a bounce, break of the level, and a retest of this level, of the broken level now, for the next zone. So that's the 3rd or the 4th scenario. We have so many scenarios. It's because I just want to look at more realistic scenarios according to market structure, but that's it for this video. I'm going to sleep.